Oh my gosh, hello and welcome back to another episode of the Unfuck Yourself podcast. I'm very excited because today we have a mini clip for you to listen to complimentary from inside of the Career Advantage live workshop that we just did last week. Now, this workshop was 3 hours long. It always happens. It was supposed to be 2 hours. We went over actually 3.5 hours long. You're not going to get that whole thing on the podcast, but you can access the replay at any time. We will link it in the show notes for you. However, we wanted to give you a tiny little clip from the first part of class. I hope you enjoy it. Please let me know your thoughts after. DM me how you feel about it and enjoy. One last thing before we go into it, as you know, the career formula is now open to enroll in. This is a 12-module program, 12-module minimum program with me and COO Sarah herself, where we are guiding you on all things on the energetic, the universal law level, and the physical level to thrive, stand out, earn more, and be seen in your career. Now, if you are wondering, well, Allie, I don't know what career I want to go thrive in. This is still perfect for you. We are diving into getting on your soul pull as well. There's going to be a lot of tools for you in there to start to uncover your soul pull and what is going to be the most fulfilling thing for you. And you can get ahead of the curve. You can uncover your soul pull while also making your creator field a match to thrive in it immediately. Now, in order to get into that is very advanced. Don't come if you're not ready to take radical responsibility. You won't like it. But you can start by the foundation class, which is the Career Advantage workshop, and we will link that replay for you in the show notes. Okay, enjoy this little clip from inside the Career Advantage live workshop.
There are a few different types of ways to success, okay? And unfortunately, it's what you have been comparing yourself to. And we're going to need you to not fucking do that anymore. So we're going to just clean that out of your field right away by just understanding the ways to success. You're never going to want this way to success ever fucking again. You're going to be like, wow, thank God I'm learning maybe the slower route, but the sure route and the absent of dark force route, okay? So number one way to success is the dark force way. You see this a lot in Hollywood and the entertainment industry and in politics, right? That's also like a pendulum swing. That is not the route we want to go. If you're not in my Dark Forces course, a crash course on it in a few sentences is the Dark Force way is essentially you are selling a piece of yourself in exchange for dark forces to be put on you and to sacrifice things, to sacrifice animals, children, a bunch of things in order to gain money, power, and fame. It's like what happens in the Illuminati. It's what happens in the Freemasons. If you want more on that, come to the Dark Forces course, we dive deep. But that is one way to success, okay? And 99.7% of Hollywood, that is how, in the entertainment industry, that is how they got there in some way, shape, or form, whether they were fully aware of what they were doing or whether they weren't. So before, if you're an actor, if you're a creative person, before you go and compare yourself to whoever the fuck's life, remember they 9.9999999 and then some out of 10, signed some deals, sold pieces of themselves, did some rituals, did some sacrifices, did some really demonic shit to get there. Also like a pendulum swing, they have a really high in their career, then they have a crash. Notice what happens with all the Disney stars. Notice what happens with Justin Bieber. Notice what happens with all of these people. They have a high, they have a crash, and then they're fucked. They're unwell, okay? We don't want that way. So we can just cut out comparing ourselves to any of them right now. When I was in my pro dance days, oh my God, I would like stalk the award shows and all these shows, and I'd be like, oh my God, like I idolize these people. I can't wait to be like them, like Beyonce, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh my God, Beyonce is like the head of the entertainment portion of the Illuminati. Like there is no chance you want to be anywhere near her. So this will cut that comparison real fucking quick. You want more on that? Dark Force course, but we're in career course here. So number 2 of the different types of way to success is the soul plan way. Okay, remember the soul plan is what? The pendulum swing. So a soul plan will naturally create $1 billion, all the followers, the business that popped off, right? To then get a soul lesson. When they're not understanding the soul lesson, they have the pendulum swing. I've worked with a lot of people who have even created incredible businesses, whether it's online or in person or design businesses or all of these things, or a Victoria's Secret model, right? Have created all of these things, and then they come to me and they feel fucked. That is the soul plan in action. They realize, oh, being the Victoria's Secret model didn't make me feel better about myself. It didn't heal my self-image. Oh, making all the money and flying the private jet didn't heal my father wounds that make me feel like shit about myself, right? Getting the online business still didn't heal the wounds I have inside of me. And then the soul plan pendulum swing happens, and then they start to go the opposite way until they get the deeper soul lesson of healing those things. That's the second way that this can happen. Again, not someone to compare yourself to. I would much rather heal the shit first, build my creator field up first, create the things from a balanced place, a sustainable place that can hold the density in a good way of the things that I desire. I'd so much rather do that first, take the extra time to build that up, have it sustainable, and then never have to have it crash because I've already learned the lessons. Like I've created something from a place of when I had $0, I felt worthy having $0, right? And that's the goal. So, and we're going to get into that today. But that is a soul plan way of creating things that, again, not something that we would want to compare ourselves to for so many different reasons. Especially also when your soul plans it, you don't know how you got there. If you went and asked, like one of those top, like that top girl podcaster, I won't say names or podcasts, but top girl podcaster whose like podcast has blown up over the years, right? If you went and asked her exactly how she did it, she could tell you a few things, but she couldn't tell you the formula because she doesn't know. Like she just naturally was in her soul plan to do certain things and be a certain way and get certain ingredients. She doesn't know what the ingredients are though. And that's what we're breaking down today, is what the ingredients actually are. So was it still in her creator field to create? Yes, it has to be. Does she know how she put it in there? No, it was a soul plan. It was a natural thing for her to be able to do. And again, it does then pendulum swing the other way. Hers hasn't yet, it will. So, but as someone like a Justin Bieber, his has already, right? And you notice these patterns. Number 3 way to career success is taking substances to get there from a false place, right? So instead of cultivating natural energy and natural motivation, taking Adderall, doing cocaine, right? For example, the Wolf of Wall Street guy, right? We've all seen that movie. Great movie. But he got there instead of finding those things naturally, which he has and could find within him if someone taught him the right ingredients, which we're doing today. He thought he needed things outside of him. It is thinking you need things outside of you. I'm sorry, don't shoot the messenger. You're going to want to like slap me in the face, but even feeling like you need caffeine. Drinking caffeine's fine. It's what's the intention behind why I'm drinking it? Am I drinking it to enjoy it because I like the taste, because it's like just part of my routine? Or am I drinking it because I can't function without it, because I need energy for this, because I'm not capable of doing this without this? What's the intention? I'm not saying caffeine's bad. I'm saying what's the intention behind it? Now that's just a small thing, but for something like the Wolf of Wall Street, he's taken all these drugs, he's having all this sex, he's doing all these external things to just be okay, to just give him energy to get to where he thinks he wants to get to go. My fiance, Justin, and he shares this story, I'm not like outing him or anything, is a beautiful example of this. He built a really successful business from doing drugs. He was on opioids for 3 years. He would smoke weed to go to sleep. He would take Adderall to be focused. He would take cocaine to wake up. He would be on opioids to not feel his emotions, to not feel tired, right? And it's creating this false sense of thing. Well, when he got off those and healed himself, what happened? He sold his business. He didn't want to be doing it anymore. He got on his soul pole. And that's what he's doing now, right? So if you feel like you need these outside external things, it's not bad or good. It's just a sign of, okay, something's going on here. There's a part of me that has doubt, that does not believe that I can create this without it. Or I'm doing something I don't want to be doing and I need this stuff to get through it, right? That's kind of what happens. So again, not someone to compare yourself to. You can go create the multi-million-dollar business like Justin did, but do you want to have to sacrifice your health and your mental state and like have to go through a massive withdrawal symptoms and have to go through depression and all of this stuff to then get your brain back to normal, to get out of it, and end up selling the business anyway because you realize like, wait, I was just doing this to like prove something. It's not actually like soul aligned thing of what I'm here to do, right? Now, again, it's all part of like, that's so part of his purpose. Like that's part of his story. He's gonna help a lot of other people with that. But if you're comparing yourself to that, we want to know what's behind the scenes. Intuition gives us the ability to lower the veil. Even if I didn't know him, you can tell me anyone's name, I can lower the veil and see if they got there a source aligned way or how they got there. Now, the fourth way to career success is the source aligned soul pull way. Yay! That is what we are diving into today. Okay? This is the way where just like how you can get different ingredients to learn how to bake a cake. If you haven't heard me talk about this before, it's ingredients. I need all the perfect ingredients to bake the perfect cake. If you miss an ingredient, you're gonna mess up part of the cake. It's not gonna be the best it could be. There can be ingredients to program in your creator field for different things. Now, I'm sure you've heard me talk about creator field before. If you haven't, real quick, just synopsis on it. Our creator field is essentially a part of our electromagnetic field in science terms that radiates off our body. It is one big concoction of our thoughts, our beliefs, our knowings, our actions, what we believe to be true, how we perceive the world, how we perceive life gets to go for us. One big concoction of that we have on a daily basis. Those things write a script in our creator field. Our creator field essentially broadcasts that script out. It hands out the script to everyone, everything, every person, every situation, every circumstance in your life. And it essentially determines how all matter is going to then be back to you, how all of those things are going to be back to you. Now, you don't like how it's going? We rewire the creator field. We bring it back to us. We take radical responsibility. Today, we're going to start doing this by getting into the core qualities of how it is you that makes your career special and what you do special, not the tools you get. So you've probably listened to other career books, other career podcasts, other career things, other career courses. They're giving you all these tools. It's not that the tools don't work. It's that there's probably a missing ingredient of the core qualities that you need to embody to make the tools work. Now, this was a mind fuck for me because what happened was when I was first doing mentorship with people back in like 2020, I was giving them the tools that worked for me that year for career success. Well, some of them it like wasn't working. And I was like, what the heck? Like these worked perfectly for me and they are the source tools. So I'm like in this mind fuck of like, why isn't it working? They're channeled from source. They worked for me. What's going on? Well, then I was like, wait, Allie, your soul actually chose certain characteristics and certain ingredients to just naturally embody that got awakened through your trauma and through getting beat up as a child and through all of these things, right? They got awakened through those things that my soul chose to awaken them that made the tools work. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I have to teach my mentorship students those qualities. I have to get them to ignite those qualities within themselves, and then the tools are going to work.